the essence of this project is that each person should do their thing with the other person's song, so that it's in some way, a meeting point between what the two people do. So on all this record, I think more than any other record, in some ways, I don't have the responsibility of defining the songs. I'm just an interpreter, I'm the singer, and that gives me more freedom and time to think about the performance. I've been a Bowie fan for a long time, and since Can't Help Thinking About Me, I've always liked the way he writes songs and explores sounds and mood and atmosphere. And although it's one of the landmark pop songs, I think Heroes is definitely a favorite track for me. So I wanted to do that when I started thinking about this. But I think Heroes has it's sort of rippling with emotion and mood, and there's that amazing Robert Fripp guitar just steaming through it all. Has a sort of triumphant element to it. This is one of the first arrangements that John Metcalfe did for me, and I thought it was one of the best rock arrangements on strings that I'd ever heard. We made this rule not to have any drums or guitars, and we talked about some of the influences we liked and some of the Systems music and people like Steve Reich. And there's obvious references there in this arrangement, and it's very empty. And yet it still has this sort of tension building up and this power to it, but built out of orchestral instruments. And so I'm very happy with that one.
Wish I could swim like dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together, we can beat them forever and ever. Or we can be heroes just for one day. Or we can be heroes just for one day. I will be king, and you will be queen.
Paul actually mentioned Boy in the Bubble quite early on as one of the songs that he would like me to look at. And I think it's the best lyric on the record. It's an extraordinary piece of writing. And because it was done at Graceland, and you have all this wonderful South African arrangement and percussion, a lot of people, myself included, hadn't really paid attention to the words. And they are really, really strong and emotive and actually play counter to the upload of the song in lots of ways. So when we started working on it with John Metcalf, the arranger, we wanted to do something stark and empty and play against the mood that had been done on the South African Graceland version. So we've sort of squeezed all of the Africa out of it, and what's left is this intense piece of songwriting that I love.
It was a slow day, and the sun was beating on the soldiers by the side of the road. There was a bright light, a shattering of shop windows. The bomb in the baby carriage was wired to the radio. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo, the way we look to a song, the way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in a corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. Don't cry, baby, don't cry. There's a dry wind, and it swept across the desert, calling into the circle of birth. The dead sand falling on the children, the mothers and the fathers, and the automatic earth. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo, the way we look to a song, the way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in a corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. Don't cry, baby, don't cry. It's a turnaround jump shot, it's everybody jump start. Every generation throws a hero up the pop charts. Medicine is magical, and magical is art. Think of the boy in the bubble, and the baby with the broken heart. These are the days of lasers in the jungle. Lasers in the jungle somewhere. Staccato signals of constant information, loose affiliation of millionaires and billionaires, baby. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow, the way we look to a song, the way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in the corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. Don't cry, baby, don't cry, don't cry.
no idea that Peter was going to cover one of our songs. It was the most amazing experience to hear his version of our song. He sings it so passionately, and the arrangement is so much more passionate than our version, actually, really sort of reinterpreting it. And it's an important song to me because it's about the woman I love. It's about meeting her. So to hear one of my heroes really putting his back into singing it so beautifully over that incredible arrangement, it was very moving for both me and my partner, and of course the band just absolutely loved it. But we had no idea he was doing it till it was almost finished.
On the kind of kiss that wouldn't wake a baby, on the self-same face that wouldn't let me sleep, and the street is singing with my feet, and the dawn gives me a shadow I know to be taller. I'm down to you, dear. Everything has changed. My sorry name has made it to graffiti. I was looking for someone to complete me. Not anymore, dear. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Make the moon our miracle. The streets are an empty stage. The city sirens, violins. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Lift up town last night. We kissed like we invented it. Now I know what every step is for, to lead me to your door. I know that while you sleep, changed. Make the moon a miracle. The streets are an empty stage. The city sirens, violins. Everything has changed.
first got a call from Bob Ezrin, the producer of the record. Kyle and my manager did, and he was talking about Mr. Peter Gabriel covering one of our songs, and I was like, so you mean like another guy named Peter Gabriel? Like, what do you mean? So he was, and then I'd kind of realized that I knew who Bob was, and he had worked on some really cool records, and this was probably last spring, early summer, and so they were talking to us about literally recording a version of Bon Iver song, Flume, and I was beside myself. I was like, okay, you guys do whatever you want, I'll see that when it happens, And then when I actually got to hear the version that he did, it was just like, it blew me away, how he was able to bring it into his place that he sings from was just incredible. Like Flume was written very quickly, and it was a big catalyst in my life, and like I said, it's a big mystery for me. It remains a big mystery to me, which is why it's one of my favorite songs to still play. It feels like I didn't even really write it, but to hear Peter sing this song, that I was somewhat responsible for. He illuminates certain things in the song that I don't necessarily illuminate with my voice or my perspective. Little passages of lyrics or little musical changes, that he does with his voice, or little chord changes that the arrangement does. It just like it rings the rag out a different way, I guess I would say, and what's left is just a different lesson. We're not sure what those lessons are, but that's what kind of the mystery with music is, I guess.
I am my mother's only one. It's enough. I wear my garment so it shows. Now you know. She's the moon. I am my mother on the wall with a song. I move in water, shore to shore. Nothing's more. Only love is on the room. Lapping lakes like leering loons, leaving workers reddish wounds, reddish wounds.
It's a song written from the point of view of a terrorist placing bombs here and there, driving Americans out of this country. So it's a politically, it's a kind of touchy subject. Yeah, it brings a real, brings a kind of sweetness out of the song. It brings a lot of the kind of yearning and the personal emotion that's in the song, but it's kind of, you don't get that part right away, or you maybe don't notice it as much. But with that arrangement and that approach and that vocal approach and everything, you've turned it around and viewed the song from a different angle.
Sees his village from a nearby hill. Moujik thinks of days before Americans came. He serves the foreigners in growing numbers. He sees the foreigners in fancy houses. He dreams of days that he can still remember now. Moujik holds a package in his quivering hand. Moujik sends the package to the American man. Softly he glides along the streets and alleys. Up comes the wind that makes them run for cover. He feels the time is surely now or never more. The wind in my heart, the wind in my heart, the dust in my hair, the dust in my hair, the wind in my heart, the wind in my heart, drive them away, drive them away. Moujik buys his equipment in the marketplace. Moujik plans devices through the free trade zone. He feels the wind is lifting up his people. He calls the wind to guide him on his mission. He knows his friend the wind is always standing. Moujik sees the wind that comes from far away. Moujik waits for news in a quiet place. He feels the presence of the wind beside him. He feels the power of the past behind him. He has the knowledge of the wind to guide him on. The wind in my heart, the wind in my heart, dust in my hair, dust in my hair, the wind in my heart, the wind in my heart, drive them away, drive them away.
Lou Reed I've known for a long time. We did some touring together for Amnesty International and also through Laurie Anderson, who's a mutual friend and now Lou's wife. And it was this song that he wrote for Laurie that I think was one of the most beautiful love songs that I've ever heard. Lou is a great poet, really, and who has chosen rock music as his art form. And this is, I think it's just exquisite writing again. And I saw him play it at the Albert Hall when he did Berlin, and really fell in love with it.
You and me, we always sweat and strain. You look for sun, I look for rain. We're different people, we're not the same. The power of the sun. I look at treetops, you look for camps. Above the water, where the waves snap back. I flew around the world bring you back. It was the power of your heart. The power of your heart. The power of your heart. All around the world to bring you back. It was the power of your heart. Of your heart. At me, I looked at you. Your sleepy heart was shining through. Wispy cobwebs that were breathing through. The power of the heart. I looked at you, you looked at me. I thought of the past, you thought of what could be. I asked you once again to marry me. The power of the heart. The power of the heart. The power of the heart. All around the world just to bring you back. It was the power of your heart. Of your heart. Everybody says love makes the world go round. I hear a bubble, I hear a sound. My heart beating, then I turn around, find you standing at the dawn. You know me, I like to dream a lot of this and that, and what is not. Finally I figured out what was what. It was the power of your heart. You and me, we sweat and strain. But the result, well, it's always the same. But I think somehow we're in again. you're smart. The beating of a purebred heart. I say this to you, and it's no luck. Marry me today. You know me, I like to dream a lot of what there is and what there's not. But mainly, I dream of you a lot. The power of your heart. The power of your heart. The power of your heart. All around the world to bring you back. It's the power of your heart. The power of your heart. The power of your heart. Finally I figured out what's right. It was the power of your heart. Of your heart. Of your
Arcade Fire, I think, a really interesting band. I didn't get it at first, and it took me a while to sort of understand who they were and what they were doing. And then I thought it's really great and really powerful writing. And there were a few tracks that we looked at, but this is the one that sort of stuck out for me. And it was a shorter piece, you know. I know some people will find this track indulgent. But I thought, you know, once we're taking this ride, let's go for it and let's make it as full, technical, and rich as possible. So I sort of encouraged John to extend some of it, but it's in some ways it's the most theatrical of the tracks.
My body is a cage that keeps me from dancing with the one I love. My mind holds the key. My body is a cage that keeps me from dancing with the one I love. My mind holds the key. I'm standing on a stage of fear and self-doubt. It's a hollow play. They'll clap anyway. My body is a cage that keeps me from dancing with the one I love. My mind holds the key. My mind holds the key. My mind holds the key. I'm living in an age that calls darkness light. Though my language is dead, still the shapes fill my head. I'm living in an age whose name I don't know, though the fear keeps me moving, still my heart beats so slow. My body is a my body is a mind holds the key. My body is a cage. We take what we are given. Just because you've forgotten doesn't mean you're forgiven. I'm living in an age that screams my name at night, but when I get to the door, there's no one in sight. I'm living in an age. I realize I am dancing with the one I love. My mind holds the key. Standing next to me, my mind holds the key. Set my spirit free. Set my spirit free. Set my body free.
I suppose my music in comparison to Peter's tends to be vastly scaled down and has the virtue of brevity and the disadvantage of maybe lack of development, because I tend to like songs with maybe two parts and then it's gone. I want to have the listener listen over and over again, so I generally have a sort of underdone sound, both in production and in composition, whereas I think Peter stretches out and wants to show off his delightful voice. So he has longer, more textural compositions and productions. Since I was writing 69 love songs, I should probably deliberately steal some titles from classic love songs, like The Book of Love. And I thought, aha! The Book of Love. I can take this literally. My specialty is taking cliches literally. So I filled the song with cliches taken literally and pushed too far. So my version of the song is quite silly in a way, and Peter's is lush and gorgeous and rather serious, with much more muted humor.
Is long and boring. No one can lift the damn thing. It's full of charts and facts and figures and instructions for dancing. I love it when you read to me. Music in it. In fact, that's where music comes from. Some of it's just transcendental. Some of it's just really dumb. But I love it when you sing to me.
I think I was still living with my parents when I wrote that. It sounds like it's a young man kind of complaint, that song, about his view of the world is a little academic. He made it a mature kind of thing. Some of it. I mean, it's the best version I've ever heard of it.
windows in empty hallways, a pale dead moon and a sky streaked with gray. Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's going to rain today. Scarecrows dressed in the latest styles, with frozen smiles to keep love away. Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's going to rain today. Lonely, lonely, tin can at my feet, I think I'll kick it down the street. That's the way to treat a friend. Right before me, the signs implore me, help the needy, show them the way. Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's going to rain.
My eldest daughter introduced me to Regina Spektor, and then I got to hear her work, and I also got to hear her perform on the radio over here, where she was just piano and voice. She's an extraordinarily gifted writer and piano player. And the reason I particularly liked Après-moi was because of its sort of Russian quality, and it's passionate and proud, and yet there's this quite dark lyric on top, and so I think, you know, we went to town a bit on that element of it.
Standing, you can't break that which isn't yours. I must go on standing. I'm not my own, it's not my choice. Be afraid of the lame,
your legs.
Be afraid of the old,
They'll inherit your souls.
be afraid of the cold.
They'll inherit your blood.
Après-moi le deluge, after me comes the flood. You can't break that which isn't yours. I must go on standing. I'm not my own, it's not my choice. Be afraid of the lame.
They'll inherit your legs.
Be afraid of the old.
They'll inherit your souls.
Be afraid of the cold.
They'll inherit your blood.
I bring while the deluge. After me comes the flood. Be afraid of the lame.
They'll inherit your legs.
Be afraid of the old.
They'll inherit your souls.
Be afraid of the cold.
They'll inherit your blood.
I bring while the deluge. After me comes the flood. comes the flood, the flood. Anya, Sasha, Natasha.
I'd been asked to do a song for this Philadelphia film, which Bruce Springsteen had also done, and Neil had done, and I just thought it was a brilliant song. And I know some hardcore Neil fans know it and love it, but it's not really well known out in the world, and I think it's one of his best pieces of writing. I was very keen to try and put it in a different sort of context and talk to John about, Elgar, Vaughan Williams, and work quite a lot with John on this one, and it's, I think it's going to be one of the sort of quieter tracks on this record, but I think it's a real grower. It's an extraordinary piece of writing.
Sometimes I think that I know what love's all about, and when I see the light, I know I'll be alright. I've got my friends in the world. I had my friends when we were boys and girls, and the secrets came unfold. City of brotherly love, place I call home. Don't turn your back on me, I don't want to be alone. Love lasts forever. Someone is talking to me, calling my name. Tell me I'm not to blame. I will not be ashamed of love, ashamed of love. Sometimes I think that I know what love's all about, and when I see the light, I know I'll be alright.
Radiohead are an extraordinary band because they've put great musical skill, writing ability with an experimental approach to almost everything they do. And they never obviously go after anything for commercial reasons. They're passionate about their art, and they've come up with some of the greatest music that I've heard in recent years. I think it's some wonderful stuff. And there were many tracks to choose from, but this is one that I thought we could take a very different approach on. And it's not an easy or sort of pop-friendly approach at all. It's very stark, and yet to me it's one of my favorite tracks on the record.
Rows of houses all bearing down on me. I can feel their blue hands touching me. All these things into position. All these things again. Fade out again. This machine will not communicate these thoughts and the strain I am under. Be a world child, form a circle before we all go under. Again. Fade out again. Cracked eggs, dead birds scream as they fight for life. I can feel death, can see its beady eyes. All these things into position, all these things will one day swallow all. Fade out again. Fade out again. Immerse yourself in Mr. Tom Corey on the piano. Anna Blue, Melanie, voices. The leader of the orchestra, Louisa Fuller. Our magnificent conductor, Mr. Ben Foster. il momento è adesso per presentare il nostro maestro, our arranger, the wonderful Mr. John Metcalf. Grazie a tutti.